All right, so if you're running a massive AV setup, think a factory floor, a casino, maybe a megachurch.
Huge venues.
Exactly. You're not just running HDMI cables you bought at Best Buy. You're dealing with industrial grade stuff where one little glitch is a total disaster.
Right.
So today, we're going to strip down the hardware that keeps those systems live. We're looking at the WolfPack 4K 4-port HDBaseT Input Card from HDTV Supply.
And it is a very specialized piece of kit. Our mission here is really to understand how this little modular card does the heavy lifting for 4K video distribution.
Okay.
Specifically, how it seems to, well, cheat physics, to move so much data over what is basically standard network cable.
And that really is the main problem, isn't it? Physics. Because if you try to run a normal HDMI cable more than, 20 or 30 feet, you just hit a wall.
You hit a wall, the signal just falls apart. HDMI, it succumbs to capacitance, to resistance over distance. The voltage drops, and you start seeing black screens or sparkles.
And levels of death.
Yeah. This WolfPack card uses HDBaseT technology to get around all that. It takes that uncompressed HDMI signal and basically turns it into packets that can travel over CAT6 or CAT7 cable.
So it's using IT infrastructure for video. And we're talking about pushing 4K at 30 frames per second up to 110 feet.
Or 1080p all the way out to 220 feet.
But looking at the spec sheet, it's not just the distance that jumps out, it's the latency, or I should say the lack of it.
This is the critical metric for any live environment. The specs list the latency at less than 7 microseconds over 330 feet.
7 microseconds. That sounds impressive, but what does that actually mean? Is that a difference a human eye can even see?
Well, it's not really about the eye, it's about the ear.
Oh, okay.
It all comes down to lip sync. In a big auditorium, the sound is traveling through the air at, the speed of sound. The video is hitting the screen at nearly the speed of light, plus any processing time.
So if the video processing adds even a tiny delay.
The image on the screen will lag behind the audio, hitting the audience's ears. You get that weird dubbed movie feel.
Which drives everyone nuts.
Precisely. By keeping that video latency down to 7 microseconds, which is basically 0 in human terms, you take the hardware completely out of the equation. The lips will match the audio.
So this card handles the signal, but it's an input card. It obviously doesn't work by itself.
Right. These are modular. They're components for the WolfPack matrix switchers.
Yeah.
And you can get chassis for these from a 16 by 16 all the way up to a massive 160 by 160 matrix.
That modular design seems like a huge plus for maintenance.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're running a 160-port system and one input fails, you're not shipping a 200-pound box back. You just hot swap the card.
And HDTV Supply even supports that with an advanced replace warranty. They'll ship you the new card before you even send the broken one back. It's standard for mission-critical stuff.
But I'm guessing there's a catch. You can't just start mixing and matching, say, this new 4K card with older legacy gear in the same box, can you?
And that is the critical constraint. The documentation is very, very explicit about this. Cool. This is a pure 4K ecosystem card. You absolutely cannot mix this 4K 30 card with older 1080p-based SDI, VGA, or DVI cards, not in the same chassis.
So it's an all-or-nothing upgrade. If you want that 4K and that crazy low latency, you have to commit the whole system to it.
The backplane architecture just doesn't support that kind of hybrid signal.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, for the people who actually have to program this stuff, how granular is the control?
It's really designed for high-level automation. I mean, yes, there are web interfaces, but the real power is in the RS-232 integration. It talks to Control4, Crestron, RTI.
Boutique players.
Yeah. And the command structure is super direct. For example, to switch input 8 to input 1, you just send the code AC1 and 8 and 16.
Simple, scriptable, no fluff. That's what an integrator wants. I also saw one last detail about their QA process, something called the aging room.
Yes, every single card runs for 24 hours straight in a stress test environment before it ever ships out. It's a burn-in process.
To catch failures before they happen on site.
Exactly. It's about reliability. When you're installing 50 of these into a rack, you need to trust them.
So when you strip away all the marketing, what are we really looking at here?
Well, it looks like a simple green circuit board, but it's really a high-speed traffic controller for visual data. It solves the physics of distance and time, so the person watching the screen never even thinks about it.
So next time you're in a sports bar and you see 50 screens all playing in perfect sync, just remember that invisible 7 microsecond race happening inside the walls. That's it for this deep dive. Go explore.